So, why have I stopped using self-forgiveness in the past? This is a point that I've been exploring, and I still explore, because I stopped participating in the application of self-forgiveness for some time, and that's not a point I'd like to return to. So it's one of the main points I've been looking at since returning to applying myself actively in awareness of the process and the destiny message. I stopped using self-forgiveness because my starting points for the application of it were never good enough. The two major points I can see are dissatisfaction with my own understanding of what it means to forgive myself, and using it in the presence of others. So that first point kind of breaks into two for me, where I was never satisfied because I would apply self-forgiveness and basically abuse it, because I was only ever interested in making myself feel better, never actually getting to a point of change. And so it was like a bandage. I would only apply it when I felt terrible, and I felt terrible. And I would do it to stop feeling terrible and to feel better, to feel nice. I didn't care about changing the point I was talking about. So that accumulated to a point where I was quite dissatisfied and angry with myself, because it wasn't all the time, but it was enough that I wanted to stop. I figured that if I was going to use something, I'd better do it right or not do it at all. So I have a different understanding now that where I don't think I would do that. However, at the time it was something I didn't push through. That was a point that I could have pushed through. And so I've done self-forgiveness now on my application of it, and I'm still in the process. And I see that I could have used it on itself to help me stop what I was doing, or help me see what I was really doing. And so the point of other people, self-forgiveness is not something I've ever known anybody other than people online that are related to Destiny and myself in real life that have ever used self-forgiveness. So just from that point alone, I feel very Like, it's very different. It's something rare. And even when I've seen it applied in some form or another, people, well, even myself, I would have, before Destiny, never considered the application of forgiveness in my life for real. I would never have considered it beyond the point of once off and you're done, you know? Like, I forgive you, or I forgive myself, and oh, there we go, it's done. Whereas it's really something that you do every day. Forgiveness doesn't just, it's not a magical button. It's like anything else you apply multiple times a day, like exercise, and you start seeing results. And being a beginner feels pretty shitty sometimes. It's frustrating. And if you have bad form or you're not paying attention, I mean, some people, me, in this situation, terrible beginner. Well, aggressive, not terrible, very aggressive and fiery. I begin with a zeal, a passion when I find something that I like. And that can compromise me. I don't pay attention to form, not very patient, and so I make mistakes, big mistakes sometimes, very big mistakes. And that's what I did. I made big mistakes with self-forgiveness. So, what did I see? What have I learned? Self-forgiveness, for me, has been scary. It still is scary. However, I have a better understanding of myself within it than I used to. And the point of forgiving myself in front of other people, I don't know when that'll happen. Maybe by my partner and people that I'm really comfortable with, but it's something I don't even think to mention until I've like cleared the coast, you know? Anything that was at bay, is it there? Is it still there? Whatever I was trying to keep guard on. So yeah, these things have compromised me. And so self-forgiveness for me, no, it's not unconditional. It's not. I'd like to say that I unconditionally forgive myself, however I don't. When I do forgive myself, I'm investigative, and I pause and I look at things and I see if I think that's worthy of forgiving, or if that registers as honest for me. But I'm not unconditional. So that's an interesting point to get to. How do you get to unconditional forgiveness? Well, that's all I've got. This is my second video. Figured I'd start with points that I'm still working with. They're some of the only points that I'm working with. And it's all about the beginning. Starting point. Putting my best foot forward. All the best.